Hey everybody, it is me, Derek Jameson, and I am here to talk to you about dreams and a little bit about sleep paralysis. So I decided that I would talk about dreams today because I had some wild adventures last night myself, and so I thought, why not just talk about that? I guess it's my fault. Before I went to bed, I set the intention that I would travel in my dreams to other dimensions, and I put on some crown chakra solfeggio music. So, whose fault is it? Mine. And it was a wonderful thing because I asked for it and I wanted it. So I'm gonna get right into it. Dreams are a way for us to explore certain aspects of ourselves. Dreams are a way to get over certain fears that we have. Dreams are a way to see certain things play out the way we want them to, but oftentimes, most people don't know that they can control that they can set an intention, that they can actually seek inside for answers. Within our dreams, we get to meet our higher self, we get to meet our guides, we get to meet angels, we get to meet spirits, and depending on what kind of emotional state we're in, we could meet some things we really didn't want to meet. So I'm going to go over a little bit about that. But you know, if in your dream you're being chased or confronted by something, you need to make sure that you face that. If you're running away from something like a goblin or monsters or ghosts or bees, then you are probably not facing that thing that is a fear trigger for you. And if you're not willing to sit there and face those things, you'll never overcome certain things that you deal with in your own waking life. So yes, the things that we deal with in our dreams actually carry over into our waking life and what we're capable of doing. So if it's like a video game. Like I like to tell people, it's like a video game. You know how in a video game you go through the whole world, you're marching through the whole thing, you're earning coins, you're earning whatever, you're getting tools, weapons, whatever it is. And then at the end of that level, you're meeting the bad guy or the thing that you have to overcome in order to level up and get to the next level, right? It's the same kind of thing as I see it, just modeled in a video game way. So I want you to be able to overcome the things that are troublesome in your own life, and you can do that within the dream world. You can literally set the intention of, hey, angels, guides, or just putting it out there, help me overcome yada, yada, yada in my dreams. Help me to overcome these fears, these problems, or help me to see an answer that I need to apply in real life. For an example, when I started waking up into what was going on with me, I said, you know, please help me see the things you want me to see. And at the beginning of the dream, I remember watching another guy break this mirror that was sitting on the wall, and there were all these people in the room. And then all of a sudden that went away, and I started in my own version of that dream. I started helping people and saving people because there was turmoil or something happening. So I was helping all these people, I was fighting the bad things. Then I ended up back in that same room, and I was with the bad guy, and I literally had to face it. And the moment that I faced it, they were all so proud of me, everyone in the room, and they looked at the mirror like, remember, you have to break the mirror, you know, edging me towards it to complete that dream, to complete that task so I can level up. But it was only because I faced the fear and I faced that thing that was coming for me. So remember that, don't be afraid to face those things. Now, a lot of the times we don't know that we are dreaming, so you run away from it because it feels so real. That's been a problem of mine in the past. And I would be like, oh, nope, this is definitely real. I am not doing this. Peace out. You know, Freddy Krueger, see you later. Yes, Freddy Krueger was one of my fear triggers, but not anymore because I can face that now. So make sure that you confront these things. Make sure that you complete your dreams. That a tool for you to be able to overcome that, because sometimes we can wake up out of that. Just say, please help me to complete my dreams. Please help me to return to that dream where this happened and this happened and this happened. You know, and also write those things down. So write down your dreams when you wake up, even if it's in the middle of the night, because we have so much to learn from our dreams, but if we don't remember them, how are we supposed to use them? All right, so write down your dreams, ask for intention on what dreams that you want to have so that you can overcome certain things, and that way you can go ahead and level up in this waking life. So another subject that I'm going to go into is the astral plane. Some ways to kind of see that you're in the astral plane is to, if you have towns or cities, or there's a lot of people, right? There's a lot of people just around, that can be the astral plane. And in the astral plane, you're going and meeting guides, you're meeting spirits, you're meeting angels, you're meeting other people who are sleeping and having that as well, or even daydreaming and astrally traveling, meditating and astrally traveling. You don't really know, but you can ask. So even when you're in the dream, you can say, hey, how's it going? Are you a spirit? Are you a real person? You got a body? Are you an angel? And it's a great way to be able to figure out what kind of being you're talking to. I've been in the astral plane where there's been tons and tons and tons of people. And this is before I knew everything that was going on. Now I know. But I was all around these people, and there was a woman who kept trying to bother me, and I just didn't know what she was saying. I didn't know what she wanted. She wanted me to do something for her. And then after I kind of woke up into everything that goes on in our dreams, I realized that she was asking for help, that she needed my help. I was a physical body in this physical 3D world that could guide her into a light place, because we can do that. So there are jobs in the astral world or the astral plane that we can go ahead and help with. And sometimes when we have nightmares and things are attacking us, or it's a darker place, that is typically going to be the lower astral plane. And if you want to think about the astral plane, it's in different levels, and the lower vibration is kind of like the lower astral plane, and they all have these like tiers, right? So you can't actually go into the higher astral levels unless you actually vibrate like that at that frequency, if that makes sense. So sometimes when you find yourself in that lower astral vibration, it's a lot of the times people are going through stress or sadness, or they're in a dark place. And I found that to be true, especially for myself. I had always wondered why I was going to these dark cities. It was really dark, there was amber lighting, I couldn't turn on the lights, but the cities were beautiful. It was just like black cities. I could see people wearing black. And then there's some that were just towns. So towns with really dim lighting, red sky. And I really never understood what that place was, but I knew there was a reason why I kept going to it. I know there is a reason why I keep traveling to this specific place that always looks the same. It wasn't a reoccurring dream, but it was me going to that place again. So there's always something that I was never fully comprehending, and I didn't realize that. So one day I put it out into the universe, and I was like, I'm gonna learn what those red places, what the red sky is, the dark cities, the dark towns, the dark places, what I used to call it. Now, it's not necessarily scary, it is just a darker place. Okay, so you're looking at more of the lower astral vibration, or underworld, as some people like to refer to it, as I've learned from different people. So, and this astral plane is that space in between our three-dimensional world and the fifth dimension, and there's so many levels. It is so vast. There are parallels to what we're doing right now. There are different things that are taking place in there that can be coinciding with real events on Earth. And I've learned that one more recently because I started having dreams, and I couldn't explain it. I just started having dreams, and they were spread out. And these dreams started being spread out about, like, I saw a team of people playing soccer. And but it was near my house up in Northern California, and I saw these people playing soccer, and I was trying to weave through them and get through to get to where I was going. And then weeks later, I had a dream about Asian teens caught underneath what looked like the ground, and water started rushing up, and they were trying to get out, but they couldn't. And in this place, there were tons of people walking in this direction, just tons and tons of people, but I didn't feel that was right, so I started turning around, which is how I saw that. Now, all I remember is these teens. And then weeks later, actually the day that the news story came out about the soccer team that was in Thailand, I had a very strong dream about an Asian team member who had an injury that was like, I was like, you can't play this team. And all of a sudden I'm having dreams of teams. Now it's hard to sit there and go, well, that all relates to that. And I didn't even still to this day say that it does. But what I am saying is that sometimes we're given fragments or pieces in our dreams that what we can do is if we remember them and we ask to remember them, we can start piecing them together. So it was just a dream that, like a dream sequence that I had to start piecing together when that whole story unfolded. And that's not the only one. There are other dreams that I've had that are starting to develop like that. You know, I don't jump to conclusions, I just wait until I see something happen, and usually it presents itself and I don't have to go looking for anything. So, you know, sometimes there are parallel dreams. There are premonition dreams. You could be dreaming of something before it happens, but you can't fully explain it, and then it happens. And I have a few people that happens for in different ways. Some people just dream of the simplest thing that's going to happen, and then it happens, or of an event that's going on, or sometimes it is a traumatic situation that's taking place, and they can see what that's going to happen, you know. So it's up to you whether or not you're going to use your dreams and pay attention to that. A lot of people don't want to. Some people know they have certain gifts or tap into that, and they don't want to take part in it. I know a lot of light worker type of people or that could do this, and they just don't want to do that, and that's okay. That's totally fine. You have to listen to what's right for you and utilize that in the right way. So let's see. What else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about lucid dreaming. So lucid dreaming can be very hard for some people. Now, oh, there's a little hummingbird literally flying right outside. Thank you, hummingbird, supporting us. And lucid dreaming is something that's very difficult for me. And but it's really easy for some other people. Like, I have people in my life, including my brother, he knows right away he's dreaming. He's like, I'm gonna do this, that, and the other, and he can make those decisions. When you can make those decisions and you wake up within your dream, you can actually make decisions to overcome a lot of your issues in your waking life. You can actually accomplish things. You can learn about your spiritual self. You can learn from your higher self. You can learn about your past. You can make decisions on what you want to do in your dream world. So there's not one prescription for like a dream dictionary. I don't believe that. I don't believe there's one like, because you dreamt of this, it means this. Well, not necessarily, because there's all these other variables that go into people's lives. So you have to sit there and start paying attention to what's right for you. You know, how you are feeling from it. What does the dream make you feel? You know, and if you're not lucid dreaming, I think the best way to start is to set that intention. So if you're going to bed, you tell yourself, say, please help me to lucid dream. I'm going to lucid dream. I want to lucid dream. Set that intention as you're going to bed. And if you don't see it right away, that might be because you didn't remember it. If we can't remember that we were lucid dreaming, how are we supposed to know, right? So that's where you say, help me to remember my dreams. So usually every night what I say is, help me lucid dream, help me to remember my dreams, and help me to complete my dreams. I will remember my dreams, I will lucid dream, I will complete my dreams. Set that intention and then try to work your hardest. Because if you remember that, you'll be writing it down and you'll be like, dude, I totally did it. Because the first time I woke up into it, I remember I was like, oh my God, I did it. I'm lucid dreaming. And then I woke up because I scared myself out of lucid dreaming. So it's all about practice. However, some people can do it easy. We all have our different powers. All right. So you can also have, I know this is a weird one, but you can also have sex in the astral plane. I know some people have their sex dreams, and sometimes what you're doing is you're meeting up with other beings in the astral plane and having sex with them or sexual encounters with them, you know, and that can vary from different entities. But if you are waking up within your dream, it might be a good idea to ask who or what you are doing that with, all right? Reoccurring dreams are important because there's something that maybe you're not facing. So if you're having a reoccurring dream and it's the same kind of thing going through, maybe you have different variables, different people that you're with, by yourself, but you're still having that same dream, what are you not learning from that experience that you need to take away from it? Because sometimes our guides, our angels, our ancestors are showing us something within a dream, and they're like, nope, you're not quite learning it yet. So they want you to keep doing it and keep going through it. So if you start having those reoccurring dreams, ask yourself, how does it make me feel? What does it make me think about? What's going on in the dream? Who's in the dream? And start breaking that apart. It is really up to you. You hold all of the answers for what your dreams represent to you. But if we're not willing to listen and start asking ourselves those questions and start breaking it down, we're never going to know. All right, so make sure that you pay attention to those reoccurring dreams and that you break it down. See what it means to you and see what the messages that you're getting. Sometimes I have friends that will get reoccurring dreams and they'll get different variables in it, and it's just them not learning what they were supposed to learn at that time. So keep focusing on that. So along with that, again, I'm going to go back to setting intentions. Setting intentions before you go to bed is so important because you can set your basically your coursework for the night, what you're going to experience in the nighttime. I practice this all the time, and it really depends on where my state of mind is in. Sometimes when the moon is in a certain cycle, I tap into the dream world more. Like right now and last night, I was definitely up and down and all around, and that cycle was high, so it was more of a manifestation cycle, so where I could see all these things. Other ways that help you do that are using crystals that will help you tap into your intuition, and also solfeggio music, because that's what I did last night. I put on crown chakra solfeggio music and I think it really gave me that experience right in my crown, because man, was I experiencing it. And I kept waking up really hot too, really hot throughout the night, and even had the air conditioner and the fan on in my room. So setting your intentions, crystals, start to control your lucid dreams, starting to learn from that, but just ask for what you want. If you don't ask for what you want, how can you get what you want? It really is in your power for you to get what you want out of your dream world. All right, so the second part of this, and I'm just gonna spend a little bit of time on this, is the sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis has been something that I have experienced since I was young. I touched on that in my first video, but sleep paralysis can be terrifying. It can be terrifying until you understand it and take control of it, which is what I made the decision to do. And I really didn't understand. I just knew that I had no control over my body. And that's what it is. Sleep paralysis is you being awake and seeing everything, but your body and your motor skills are not functioning. So it's terrifying. You can't move anything, but you can see. And what happens is you're coming out of a dream, or you're going into sleep where that state happens. A lot for me, it can happen in a nap where I'm not that tired, but I start to nap. I can go into that right away. I can go right into the astral plane right away. For some reason, I go into it right away. So that can take place, and it is a mind-body disconnection, and you can't control everything. And what typically happens is that some people will see figures in the room or in the doorway, as I've seen, or surrounding them, but they can't move, so it can be a terrifying experience. And sometimes the way that it comes to you is because you're coming out of a nightmare of some sort where you're being attacked, like myself. And I had always been afraid of these things. I think it can be something that's getting you in your dreams. I think it's something that could be getting you in the astral plane, trying to come after you. It could be just a simple nightmare, something you were trying to overcome. And then there are other things that are involved, which I have learned. So it's not always something to be afraid of. Sometimes what's happening when our bodies are going to sleep and they shut down, we're being healed. We're being worked on. And I know this from various people around me that have this experience and sometimes wake up too soon. All right, there's been many experiences that I hear about people waking up too soon. Well, and myself, that's what I do. But I try to get other information so I can put it all together as well. But when you wake up and you're sitting there like, oh my God, I can't move, but I see figures, it's not always something terrifying. There's not something attacking you. And even if there was something more negative, you can turn that away. You can literally have the power to say, no, I don't agree with you. You need to go. You are not welcome here. Only unconditional love is welcome here, and be stern with that. You have the power to put boundaries up. It's those people that are not putting boundaries up that are not going to receive that. They're not going to get that. They're going to think fear. They're going to feed into the fear, and so on and so forth. But once you realize that if there are figures there, there's beings that are healing you. They're working on you while you sleep. That is when we are most receptive to connection to spirit, to angels, to our ancestors, to our guides, to being healed. And then sometimes we wake up too soon. And I'll do a personal story real quick in regards to that. But I know other stories that are like this one. And I remember taking a nap in the middle of the day, and I was like, oh man, I've been up since 5. I gotta be teaching a class until 9. I am going to force a nap in the middle of the day for 30 minutes to an hour. So I laid down in my room, and I just closed the blinds so there's still light coming in there. And I started dreaming right away, because I told you, I can dream right away. I go right to the astral plane, like quick. And I started dreaming, and someone that was pretending to be my friend that I know in waking life was in this dream. And she started going crazy. She started going wacko crazy. The hair was going everywhere, and she completely turned her entire figure. It wasn't who I thought it was. It was an entity pretending to be. And I find that when I take naps, I am very open. I am a very open person, and that's when certain entities can step in, and that was the case for that. There was an entity that pretended to be someone that I trusted and then flipped on me and started attacking me in the dream. As I was coming out of it, and now this was only 5 minutes into actually laying down, because I looked at the time. So I laid down, no longer than 5 minutes I went into that space, being attacked by something, and I see all just hair, and I start coming out of it. So it was half being attacked and half being awake with sleep paralysis. So imagine how much fun that was for me. So I'm going through the whole thing, and I said, no, I'm going back in that dream. I am fighting that thing. And I kept saying, no, you're not welcome here, but I couldn't fully speak, because if you've had sleep paralysis, you know you can't speak. So I started fighting back in, and I'm like, no, you are not welcome here, or as hard as I could. And then all of a sudden, as I was fighting it, I came fully awake. I became fully awake, and everything disappeared except for the most beautiful rainbow energy I had ever seen in my life. And I laid there for a very long time. This is in the day. I was wide awake, and I'm looking around the room, and all I'm seeing is what looked like rainbow water around the room, just like this, swirling around rainbow, like bright hologram rainbow. And then on the corners of the room, I know this might sound a little interesting to some of you, but all the corners around the room were these like coils like this of rainbow thicker energy, almost like something was squished into the edges of the room and all the way down. Okay, so there was that. Now, meanwhile, the fan was on as well. So this was like a whole thing. And I also saw what looked like thicker crystalline forms. I'm just gonna say crystalline forms. And I had come out of this, and all I see is the most miraculous rainbow energy swirling around me in different types or forms. I could see thicker, like almost like a sheet was there. And I could see figures next to my bed, but it was beautiful. And I laid there thinking that this is gonna go away any old time. You know, I'm just coming out of this dream, but I've never seen this, and I've had this situation happen a lot, and I'd never seen this. And I just look at the rainbow energy, and I just said, thank you. Thank you. I tried to face something in my dream. I tried to face a fear. I tried to attack something that was attacking me to combat it, because I wasn't going to let that have power over me. And I woke up to the most beautiful rainbow energy. And all I said was thank you, because I know that they were looking out for me and protecting me. I am very protected, especially when it comes to that. I have a lot of angelic beings that step through, especially when something negative comes my way. They are very protective. And if you ask anybody I know, they'll tell you it's the truth. So it's crazy. But what are your experiences? I want to know what kind of things you go through with your sleep paralysis. So tell me about it. You know, I know science says that it's one thing, and you know what? I believe it's a little bit of both. I think it's science, I think it's spirit. And I know that it's both things because I've seen way too many shadows and figures in different ways when I've come out of sleep paralysis. But we no longer have to be afraid of it because we can take control of our dreams. All right, so this is about 25 minutes. I'm gonna cap it there because that is a long one, and maybe we'll get a little bit more into it as we go along. So remember those little tips that I told you. Intentions, set your intentions for your dreams, ask for what you want, do the things that are gonna help you tap into there. Lucid dream, man, have choices over what you want to experience. Why not? All right, hit me up, comments. I want to hear your stories. Let's talk about this. It's my experience, so I'm just trying to share mine so that you can live yours. All right, so I'm sure I left a bunch of stuff out, but what are you gonna do? We'll do it a different day. I'm Derek Jameson. I appreciate you so much. Please follow me on all my social media platforms, and let's become a collective.